Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, Capri's Social Network. So in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about a subject which seems to be such a taboo subject and topic when women, on behalf of how it's so popular in today's society, instead of women choosing marriage before they may carry, before they may used to have kids, there are so many women nowadays that are having exponential amounts of kids by exponential amounts of men, aka multiple baby daddies, and are proud of it. Also, and due to the unfortunate popularity of how being a whore and promiscuous as a woman is embraced, and you can also say praised in society, thanks to the likes of rappers by the likes of Ice Spice, Meg Thee Stallion, Sukihana, Sexy Red. This makes matters even worse when it comes to how us guys in most cases have to deal with taking on a role of supporting and taking care of another man's kids, and having to be a stepdaddy due to it being so many women nowadays. And I'm referring to and addressing specifically all my fellas that may be a man without kids of your very own, but yet still may have to take on the burden of taking care of another man's kids. And whether you know it or not, there has been certain men that have been tragically, that their lives have prematurely ended and tragically ended due to them dealing with another man's kids. And due to how women also, in most cases, when they do have kids by multiple men, they always pick some of the worst groups of men they can find. In most instances, men that are usually straight up criminals that have done prison time for X amount of years. And instead of them usually picking men that would create good and wholesome families, they always, like I just stated, pick the worst caliber of men, which makes it where some guys even dread being stepdadders, even that much more due to how dangerous in certain instances it could be as well. And I also wanted to state and to prove my theory on how women are having kids by multiple men at such exponential rates. I'm going to show you both data and statistics based upon the amount of Black American women who do it, as well as the amount of white American women who do it. For all you females who may follow my content, so tune into some of my content from time to time, who may happen to think I'm a misogynist towards Black women, which I'm clearly not. Once again, I'm going to show you both data and statistics, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the percentage of Black American women who have kids by multiple men and white American women who do it as well. Anyways, and I'm going to show you some clips pertaining to why it's always disadvantages when it comes to having kids by more than one man as a woman. Anyways, and if you hold on for a second, I'm going to share my screen. Let me go to TikTok real quick. And go to my favorite.
Oh, my dude, finally free.
And there are several clips pertaining to this topic.
What do we have going on here?
I told you stop bringing her some food if you're not gonna bring the rest of my kids some food.
Ooh, her attitude. Lady, why are you talking to that man like that?
I only have one child with you, bro.
This is what you call multiple baby daddy problems.
I know, but still, I told you that's not fair for her siblings for her to have food and they don't got nothing. So that's not right.
Bro, why don't you just pick up your one child in that house and take your child to the restaurant, spend quality time with your child, and drop your child back off?
That's not really my problem, though, bro. Like, I make sure my daughter is fed, bro.
But to give the child a meal to eat in front of his siblings is wrong. And anybody else say it ain't wrong, you got issues. It's wrong.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but still, you can't think about my other kids.
I get that the mother shouldn't expect him to buy for the other kids, but at the end of the day, they're still siblings.
Have to be your kids. You would get them a little snack or something. You could bring her food.
Her attitude is funky, but you still could have had a little something else for the kids too.
Sorry about your other kids, but I only got one daughter, bro, and I
That's
gotta make
messed
sure.
up, bro.
I gotta make sure she's fed.
Call me crazy, but as a father, I would have bought for my child's siblings, even if I would have had to buy a pizza so everybody could eat. But her attitude is terrible. I'm gonna give y'all that in the comments, and I know y'all gonna rush straight to the comments. Usain Bolt, I give you that, but he could have done better.
Women who had multiple baby fathers, they are not responsible. They are liars. They are cheaters. They are not to be played with. So if you are a man without kids, stay away from them.
So as I said earlier, if you are a woman or a man and you have 1 kid, 2 kids, and you realize, okay, I'm fucking up, I gotta be careful. But you can't keep saying that when you done made 3, 4, and 5 kids, baby. Also, what I'm saying to you is, I know it's a double standard, but it's the motherfucking truth. A man can get out here, y'all can't say I'm wrong. A man can get out here and put his dick in 5 and 6 women and have kids with them and still end up happily married to a healthy-minded woman. But a woman can have kids with 4 niggas and lose dating value out here in this world. Please don't argue because
I know.
By the way, the reason I'm showing this clip of this guy who happens to clearly be of Caucasian descent is because I wanted you to hear from quote unquote the horse's mouth on the disadvantages of some of the main reasons why you shouldn't date women with multiple kids by multiple daddies, judging from a white male's perspective. Anyways.
No, it's crazy, isn't it? And I'm going to try to say this as nicely as I can, but it's always the ones who are of the older age bracket. I'm trying to be nice, who are not up to my standards looks wise. It sounds bad, but it is what it is. And they're always the ones that are saying, you should date somebody older, or maybe you should lower your standards a little bit. Maybe you shouldn't be looking for a 10. I'm not looking for a fucking 10. Like, get that through your head. It's almost like this world is so full of people who refuse to better themselves. Like they refuse, and so they expect everybody else to lower their standards to them. And I know somebody's going to take this as fat shaming or whatnot, but like the bigger girls, they're always the ones that are running around saying, well, maybe you shouldn't be looking for somebody who's super thin. Oh, you're always looking for a supermodel or a gym fitness chick. Like, no, we're actually not. We just want somebody like in as good a shape or better shape than us. Like I saw this video the other day where this woman was divorcing this man because he didn't work on himself, because he wasn't in the gym and he wasn't smaller. He was a big boy. And then when they panned over to her, she was the exact same size as him, but yet she was telling him that, he needed to be in the gym and whatnot, which I don't disagree. I think they both should have been in the gym, but that's where we're at today. But yeah, I'm not going to get myself into a situation to where I might potentially even fall for somebody who has multiple kids with multiple baby daddies, to where then I have to buy a 7-bedroom house. And it's not worth the hassle. I'd rather stay single.
Okay, on that note, folks, I wanted to read some data, both data and statistics on behalf of how it's not only Black American women that are having kids by multiple men or more than one man, but it's also white American women that are doing so. So if you bear with me, I'm going to read those data, the data and statistics pertaining to this here topic as well. Now, this is based on behalf of NBCnews.com. And I have highlighted this pertaining to the statistics based upon the amount of Black American women who do it, Hispanic women who do it, and white women who do it. Now it says Doris, and for some of you who may be wondering what they mean by Doris, Doris happens to be a postdoctoral fellow at the University Institute of Michigan Institute for Social Research. So let me start off by reading it again from the very beginning and highlighting it again, if I can find it. Now here it is, folks. Doris found that a multi-father type of family structure was more common among minority women, with 59% of African-American mothers, 35% of Hispanic mothers, and 22% of white mothers reporting children with more than one father. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And this is one of the main reasons, ladies and gentlemen, in our community, the African-American community, why there are so many African-American women who lead the nation in being the most infected with both STIs and STDs, due to how so many of them prefer having kids by multiple men instead of having kids by specifically one man, and due to how also it seems to be a badge of honor in today's society and our community as well, unfortunately, and how women, compared to how women believe in doing things the traditional and godly, moralistic way by marrying first, then starting them a family, having kids out after marriage instead of before or outside of marriage. Because think about how so many women get thrown baby showers now in our community, women who aren't even engaged in most cases. Instead of bridal showers, you hardly ever hear about any bridal showers in our community, African American community, but you damn sure hear about baby showers on a quite regular basis. You could debate me all you want to right below on the comment section, but it's just calling a spade a spade. No matter how some of you may get offended by my feedback and my perspective. Also, I'm going to show you some more clips on behalf of some, how it's not just African American that are having kids outside of marriage or by multiple men. They make it more, they put it more into perspective by having, and let me rephrase that, it's not just African American women having kids by more than one man or baby daddies, but it's also white women that are doing it as well. And I'm going to show you proof by showing clips of some courtesy of TikTok. I'm also going to show you this as well on behalf of an actress, a pretty well-known actress in the white American community by the name of Kate Hudson. Now, I'm going to go to her Wikipedia page, and she happens to be the daughter of famous actress, white actress, of course, Goldie Hawn. And a lot of you may know Goldie Hawn from the movie Overboard with Kurt Russell, someone who she happened to date and shack up with for X amount of years, Miss Goldie Hawn. So it says, according to her Wikipedia page, Miss Kate Hudson, she has 3 kids. She happens to be 45 years old. She just turned 45 a few days ago. Now listen, and listen closely, ladies and gentlemen, as I read this to you about how many kids she has and how many baby daddies she has. Once again, to prove how it's not just African American women that are the main ones doing it, but it's also white women as well. Now, Hudson married Chris Robinson, lead singer for the Black Crowes, on December 31st, 2000 in Aspen, Colorado. Their son was born in January 2004. They traveled together during Hudson's film shoots and Robinson's music tours. On August 14, 2016, Hudson's publicist announced that she and Robinson had separated. On November 18, 2006, Robinson filed divorce papers citing quote unquote irreconcilable differences. The divorce was finalized on October 22nd, 2007, when Hudson granted joint custody. In early 2010, Hudson began dating Muse lead vocalist and guitarist Matt Bellamy. They became engaged in April 2011, and their son was born in July 2011. On December 9, 2014, they announced they had ended their engagement. They are reported to be on good terms with one another and co-parenting their son. In December 2016, Hudson had her first date with Danny Fujikawa, if I'm pronouncing it right, a musician, actor, and co-owner of a record company. They met when she was 23 through her best friends, Sarah and Erin Foster, who are his stepsisters. On August 6, 2018, Hudson announced she was expecting her first child with Fujikawa. On October 2nd, 2018, via Instagram, she announced the birth of their daughter, Rani, who they named after his granddaughter, Ron Fujikawa. On September 13th, 2021, they announced their engagement. Now I'm going to stop sharing this. And just like after reading what I just read to you folks, this here proves once again how it's not just black women going crazy having kids outside of wedlock, also known as multiple baby dads, how we like to classify it as in our culture, which even sounds worse. I swear to you, I hate using that term so badly, both baby daddy and baby mama. Anyways, I want to also say this as well. It's just like it's black men and black men without kids of their own who prefer not being with kids, where women with multiple kids by multiple men. There are white men, I could imagine, who prefer not going that quote unquote route as well. White men who don't have kids at all, who would prefer finding a woman and starting a foundation, his very own family, when a woman without kids of his own, unless they're by him. Because even though a lot of us are of different cultures and different ethnic backgrounds, when it all comes down to it in both the dating and relationship market, we share the same experiences, whether you know it or not, ladies and gentlemen. No matter if you're either black, white, Hispanic, Asian, when it all comes down to it, we practically share the same experiences in both the dating and the relationship market. Although there are not as many women of other races having kids by more than one man as it is black American women specifically, when it all boils down to it, we're dealing with the same stuff, us men, no matter what race we are, when it comes to the dating market, once again. Anyways, let me show you some more clips on behalf of TikTok pertaining to this here topic.
How many kids do you have?
4. I have 3 baby daddies.
So 2 from one, and then 1 from...
See, this is where it gets really confusing.
Let me build a timeline here. So the first guy...
Oh, God.
So let's talk about child number 1.
Right.
Child number 1.
Right. 17.
17 was with guy number 1.
Right.
Child number 2 was with guy number 1 again?
It wasn't really ever a thing.
What?
Like we were just casually dating.
No, but I'm just... Okay, so...
No, he's trying to figure out if the first baby daddy was the father of the first kids.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so and then number 2 was with number 2.
Right.
Number 3 was with number 2?
I had 2 boys with the third one.
So wait, number 3 is with number 3.
Oh, well,
no, so first dad had first kid. Mm-hmm. Second dad had the second 2 kids.
No.
Just
1, 2.
Got it. That's what we were trying to figure out.
So okay, so Hold on. I got it.
Because you weren't a math major, but
First
come
dad,
on.
first kid.
Second dad,
second kid. Third dad,
Third
and fourth kid.
And which
Holy,
one?
that's complicated.
I've been called the
figured
ultimate
it out.
baby mama.
Here.
This is normal where I come from.
And you're from
Number
Ohio.
2 raised number
No.
three. Ew.
Wait, where you from?
Gross. Why would
Oh,
you say
Michigan.
that?
I think number
I'm from
3
Michigan.
raised number 2, 3, and 4, right?
What's that?
Yeah,
So
which
number
one did
three
you raise? 2, 3, and 4, or number 2 raised
No.
2, 3,
Okay,
and
that
4?
sounds horrible. All right, number 1. You got well, no, you got. I had my first child. I was 19.
Okay.
So
So-
me and the father did not work out.
Second child, how old were you?
I had her 2 years after I
So
had her.
21,
So I
and
was-
then kids 3 and 4?
Well, like
AJ?
I got pregnant like right after I had my daughter. I was like
22?
so like 4 months after I got pregnant. So there's only a year between those two.
Your last kid you had when you were 23?
24. Yeah.
So
Okay.
do the 3 kids know their dads?
Yes.
Okay. Are they in their lives? Or?
Yeah. Yep.
One of the dads thought one of the kids was his, but wasn't? Or did I mishear that?
No. We were trying to establish because she said that the second.
Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what happened was I had my first kid. Okay, you gotta think I was 18. I got pregnant. I had one when I was 19. We split up. After that, that father went to Alaska at the time, and then I was having a casual dating thing. And you gotta think my baby at the time was a year old. And then I got pregnant again and didn't know I was pregnant and was dating somebody new. And I had to explain to them that I was pregnant. And he's like, we've never had, so how are you pregnant? And I'm like, obviously. He stepped
and
up.
then you went on to have 2 children with him, right? Okay.
Oh, got it. So it was the guy that you were seeing at the time. That's not the father of your 3rd and 4th child. The one that you were seeing when you found out you were pregnant with your 2nd child.
No
I'm sorry,
kids.
this is so confusing. So for your 2nd
Thank you,
child,
Captain
you
Caveman.
didn't realize that you were pregnant for a minute and you were dating somebody new.
Right.
Is the person that you were dating at that time the father of your 3rd
and 4th.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
The guy who got me pregnant.
Mhm.
Okay, this is where it's gonna get really complicated because this is gonna get icky. He also has, I think, 5 kids now.
Okay,
and all different moms.
got it.
Yeah, so I'm just like in the middle of his situation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
and,
totally.
You know, yeah. So where I come from, that's kind of normal. Small town.
You said this is fairly common
Where I come from.
where you come from in Michigan, correct?
UP, yeah.
So, like, how many people would you say?
Partake
Or
in
my
these activities?
situation.
Are in a
Multiple
situation
baby
like this?
daddies.
Tell you
I don't
how
think he
many.
means just multiple kids with multiple dads. I think he means like that many different kids with that many different dads who also have that many kids with different moms.
Oh, a lot.
Is it all just all the same people?
Okay, and let me go back to string y'all. This here is a perfect example of why there have been so many guys tricked into having kids by women only to find out years on down the road that the kids they thought were actually theirs had and shared both the same DNA, happened to not take theirs. Well, let me rephrase that. Happened not to be their kids after going out of their ways to take care of those kids for so many years, only to be told by the person who he happened to become intimate with and thought for sure he had that kid by tell him, which is so heartbreaking, the kid happened to be by somebody else. And why this is also one of the main reasons why there are so many guys that have had to pay child support and are currently still paying child support, thinking those kids that they're paying child support for are actually their kids, only to find out that they were paying child support for another man's kids to begin with. And this here clip goes to show you not only how screwed up that the white / Caucasian community is when it comes to having dysfunctional relationships and kids by, I'm specifically referring to white women having kids by more than one man or multiple men. This also goes to show you after how confused this lady came across on this here podcast how she happens to be a whore, nothing but a straight up whore, also a 304, a thought as well. Anyways, let me find some more content.
Hey, man, let me ask you a question.
What's up, man?
When we get married?
Come on, don't start that again. What you mean when we get married?
What you mean when we get married? I want to get married.
You know how many baby daddies you got?
Yes, 5 and.
I'm not finna marry you. You got too many baby daddies for me. I told you.
What do they have to do? Oh, we can fuck around, but we can't get married.
No, I'm not finna. You got too many baby daddies. You think I want to marry you? You know how many men you been with? How many
4,
men like I had her before
5.
Me? What you mean?
That's
like,
not that many.
That's a lie. It's too many. I can't marry you. Like
that's not too many.
I can't marry you. Like you're. Come on.
That don't make no sense.
I can't marry you. Like seriously.
We can fuck around.
Yeah, we can fuck around. Like if you don't
so
want to, I leave too.
You can leave. No, what you gonna do without me?
But you, all right, then. Like, don't bring up marriage.
Oh, so you really don't care about me then? So you really don't. I'm good enough to. I'm good enough to. I'm good enough to fuck on, but I'm not good enough to wife.
No, because you got too many baby daddies. I'm never.
Oh wow!
I told you I'm not gonna marry nobody that got 5.
I thought you really loved me.
One is more than enough. Like, come on, man, that's too many. Like,
I thought you really loved me. I really thought you did.
Listen, I care about you. I got feelings for you, but I'm not for the marriage. You got too many baby daddies. All right.
Wow, that don't make no fucking sense.
Now this could be a skit by this guy happening to be a pretty well-known TikTok content creator, and he goes by the handle It's Big Mike Time. Now, even if this isn't a skit, or if it is, this still applies, folks, to real life situations and why it comes with a disadvantage anytime women may hoe around, so to speak, may make a habit out of having more than one kid by more than one man, especially on behalf of the women, a lot of you women that have multiple kids by multiple men or multiple baby daddies, only to eventually want to marry on down the road. Whether you know it or not, that's one of the main reasons why it's so hard for you to be able to marry, due to how you have so much quote unquote baggage, how you come with so much drama from so many previous other men. Even if you may happen to find that special someone who you may happen to hit it out with so well to the extent where you may want to consider into starting your very own family with him and marrying him. This is exactly why, ladies, so many of you are unwed mothers and will remain forever unwed mothers due to how you choose to have kids, not only outside of marriage, but by more than one man. Because think about how it's been so many men that have died prematurely and tragically by the likes of dating women that happen to have kids by more than one man, like I mentioned earlier in the video, due to how so many women, so many Black women especially, like to have kids by some of the most unpredictable, dysfunctional, toxic men they could find, only to, and when things may get off on the wrong foot, so to speak, to want to eventually settle for a quote unquote good man, a much more upstanding man, a man who is hard working, a man who never ever gets in trouble with the law or has been in trouble with the law, and in some instances, a man who doesn't have even one kid of his very own. Anyways.
How you let society pressure you into not having 2 baby daddies, but you couldn't let it pressure you into marriage?
All right, so when you get the chance, go back and watch that whole video. Valid points were made, absolutely. But I want to speak on the fact that, you know, people do have that mindset. I was one of those people who had that mindset. I didn't want multiple baby daddies, so I had my second child by the same guy. Granted, they aren't the greatest, you know, father, and it is what it is. Happily married to the love of my life now, but nothing would have changed had I married that man. He still would have been trash. So it wouldn't have mattered. We just need to pick better people, and people need to be better people. pretty much. It doesn't matter if you have the same baby daddy, or if you marry him. If he's trash, he's trash.
How you let society pressure you into not having?
There should be 2 more clips. Then gonna close out this video.
This is why I say the things that I say. And again, I'm never trying to talk down on the women who already have kids, but I want to give women more information so they can prevent these situations from happening. Outside of loving your children, a lot of y'all would not want to deal with your baby daddy, the man that you had a child with, for the rest of your life. Now, the only reason I'm going to use this young lady as an example is because she's famous and everybody knows what's going on. I do not kick Black women when they're down. I didn't even want to use her as an example, but I feel like this can be a teachable moment for everybody watching. If Keke Palmer would have not had a child with this man, even though I'm sure she loves her son, she would not have to deal with him ever again. She could have had that situation happen to her, which is so unfortunate. I don't wish that on anybody. She could heal from that and move on. But now, no matter what, for the rest of her life, she has to deal with this man in some form of fashion. Now, she can get a restraining order, which those are normally temporary. She can file all of the, full-time custody and all of that stuff. He can fight it. There's ways around stuff like that. But no matter what, that baby eventually is going to graduate from high school, college, possibly go off and want a relationship with his father, regardless of what happened to his mother present day. 9 times out of 10. So what I'm saying is I want young women to prevent them from being tied down to a man for the rest of her life who did not value her enough to say, you know what, I'm going to wait until I'm ready to marry you. I want to be married or anything. And when I say value, a lot of people get triggered because they think that I think that wives are more valuable than baby mothers and girlfriends. That's not how I feel. That's how a lot of men see it. And if he is not ready to be mature enough mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or financially, he should not be having children. If he can't say, I want to marry this woman, protect her, honor her, be true to her, stand with her under God, he should not be having children with her. So I'm trying to encourage young women to stop giving these men kids because it harms you and that child most of the time. Are there some good fathers? Yes, but let's keep it a buck. If I took a poll, put it in the comments. Do you even like your father's child? Do y'all get along? If you could go back in the past, put your child aside, would you have a child with that same man? I'm not.
Speaking of which, and excuse me for interrupting this clip, which comes across as a very interesting and informational clip. Anyways, how she spoke about how there are women who have kids by guys who they can't stand. In the same breath, folks, these same exact women who kind of hate they baby daddies may usually arrange to meet up with their baby daddies just so they could become intimate with their baby daddies whenever they may, you could say, quote unquote, be in need, or whenever they may need urges to be fulfilled. So I also wanted to give my 2 cents again as far as that regard. Anyways,
not coming down on your decisions. I tell y'all all the time, I am not perfect. By the grace of God, I did not have to be tied to a man for the rest of my life. But if I would have been tied to a joker that I dated at 21 years old, it would irritate the mess out of me because I no longer know if this man is breathing, and I'm okay with that. I was able to move forward, live my life, everything, and now I'm married and I don't have nobody else interfering with anything I have going on. When you become a grandmother, that's your child's granddaddy. They're never going anywhere until they die. So that is my point when I try to encourage young women to hold out, wait until somebody wants to marry you, and then give that man a child, because at least you have an opportunity to try to create a solid family. A lot of these men who are not ready to get married, but they're ready to have children, do not step up to the plate, do not handle their responsibilities, and they're not solid for the women that they procreate with. They end up getting more women pregnant and being a statistic. And at the end of the day, you'll always be okay, but that child suffers. Kids need a 2-parent household. Statistically, they do better. Are you doing a great job? Absolutely. I think mothers 9 times out of 10 hold it down and their children are great. I know fabulous single mothers. So I'm not coming down on that, but we got to stop rooting for the action that is hurting our community as a whole. Stop giving these men babies, please.
All the different baby daddies. So I have 12 offspring, and the common belief is that there are 12 baby daddies. I got pregnant at 14 and had my first baby. I married her father and had a second baby at 19. That relationship ended, but I was devastated. I was never a super promiscuous person. I only wanted to have one husband ever. And I tried to make it work with my daughter's father, but he didn't love me. He didn't love her. And overall, he just wasn't a great person. You know, after I ended our marriage, he had no contact with his kids. And our marriage only lasted about a year. And right after it ended, I ended up pregnant with my third child from a rebound. But I was like, hey, I got to stay with him. So I married that guy, even though he was pretty abusive. So I have 2 kids from my first relationship and 10 kids from my second relationship. So that's 2 baby daddies. But
Also, I wanted to say who you see in the thumbnail is somewhat well-known singer Kiki Wyatt, who happened to first bust onto the scene back when she was doing collaborations with also and someone who is not as well known as she is, Avant, who bust onto the scene after collaborating with him on a song called My First Love, which happened to be or contain a sample from a Renee and Angela song by the same exact name. This lady, Kiki Wyatt, happens to have kids by more than one man. One of them she had 2 kids by and happened to marry, and the same guy she happened to have 2 kids by out of all her 11 kids happens to take on the role to be a stepdaddy, which really fits the topic of the video, the thumbnail. And she also happened to appear on the show Celebrity Divas as well. I believe some R&B diva show that used to come on VH1. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think by commenting in the comment section. Until next time.